Because I'm both
I
gonna
think
teach
I
you.
know.
Yeah, I'm gonna teach both site setup and basic attacking.
Alright.
Alright, I'm going to need. Let me do something like. There we go. We'll do smoke. Smoke works.
I picked Abana because Ace usually gets banned. Bannerooski.
Yeah. You're gonna watch site setup
Oh,
before I
yeah.
have you start quote unquote attacking.
Alright.
We should have plenty of time.
In case I get slammed. Us.
Alright. Man, I feel like I'm playing a ranked match. All this reinforcing.
Yeah, I swear.
I kid you not, even like in my ranks, right? I swear to God, I'm the one always putting up like at least 6 reinforcements out of the 10.
Facts.
Alright. We got 2 left, so I'm gonna do a default setup.
Okay.
Which would be these 2. Alright. Alright. So you guys should already know the callouts for the most part. This is billiards, pool table, you know, aqua. So I'm gonna teach you guys how most teams actually push. So first, a lot of the times they are gonna push aqua because this is like a stronghold right here. If you lose aqua, you kind of lose the match, especially if they execute properly. Um, so what usually happens is a pinch, right? So what
Okay.
that usually looks like, and it's usually a pinch on here because this is one of the safest places to plant. Because see you from A, the rotate, if I stop lagging, or the head holes. Now, I made this one the way it is because A, if you lose, say, this site, crouching makes it slower for them to, you know, rotate. And it's just safer for you overall, and then you have the head holes. But how they usually pinch is that typically they'll take, like, big window control, or they'll have big window pressure, and they're going to be taking this control. And they're either going to be repelled or on, like, the little step up out here. There. Like, you just vault up here, like this right here. You can see quite a bit. A lot of times you'll see a shield here. This is where, like, a smoke player somebody usually plays, and you'll often see a Jaeger played. And then this, like, people don't usually play VIP. Now, some teams have been extending, and instead of using these 2 reinforcements here, they use them over there. You see that a lot now. And then they'll have somebody playing the 90 and kind of rotating between the 90 and, you know, kind of helping to counter pinch. But what happens usually is that they'll take that window and they'll be repelling or something, because that window, if you're repelled upside down, holds a good portion of this side. And then they'll take aqua control, and then their planter will be here. And if they have somebody on the window, like, there's no way you're pushing in, especially if they have man advantage. So this map is what's known as a Call of Duty map. Okay, you will see tons of runouts. People will peek all the time because A, this is attacker sided map technically, and B, like, there's just there's a lot of lines of sight, even with the best setup. Like this is hard to hold on defense. Now, what you're gonna do is that a hard breach is I want you to go to the roof and you're going to open up this. And I'm gonna show you why. And Sabana. You only need really one. Like I wouldn't put all of them there. Just do the one.
I can't
The
pick it
ones
back
that
up.
like. I know. Just detonate it. It's okay.
I usually just do 2 so it makes it just wide enough for me.
Yeah. So what you're holding right there is the rotate. This is the other way that they pinch. I can't see you, but I can guarantee you see my feet.
Yep.
Yep, you can see my feet. And then sometimes, if you have extras, sometimes people put like more like breaches there just because it makes it really uncomfortable because you see my feet all the way over here. That's easy kill. It's if I'm playing here as a defender, it's really hard for me to rotate because again, you see all of me before I see any of you.
Yep.
So trying to swing you is really hard. Now remember, I'm also speaking as like a console player. My aim is not going to be nearly as crisp as yours, like at all. And you also have better specs than I do. So me trying to swing you is not likely. And then the thing I face is I also face MK on console. So this is not fun to try to counter.
Right.
But this is the usual default plan. You often see Valkyrie or some kind of C4 denial play here.
Mm-hmm.
Or I like to just shotgun it because a lot of times people aren't looking. And I kind of get free headshots or kills. Or if I'm playing in here and they're taking Aqua, I like drop and play below. And if you want to see where this is below, this is in blue bar. So if you ever wanted to make these holes and come down here. And I recommend doing it at an angle, so that way it's harder for them to notice.
Now,
yeah, this.
I have a question about that.
Okay.
Just specifically for the footholes.
The floor holes?
I mean, obviously, yeah, the footholes. Obviously, you'll probably be able to kill them if you're standing like right up against a wall. But if it's a Montang that turtle plants, you probably won't be able to stand like in front of the bar, will you? Because the shield will block you.
Well, if you're doing below, it doesn't matter because you just shoot his feet. And a lot of the times you don't really want to have like shotgun holes anyway. You want to have like a Valkyrie,
Right.
or like a Mozzie, like have a cam somewhere near here, like a usual like sneaky Valk cam would be right here. And then they C4 below. So a lot of like attacking wise, you're gonna have your person playing the roof, and the person playing the roof isn't just holding, you know, the breach. They're watching over here, and then they can also catch somebody
in luggage
trying to rotate through luggage. So really, the person on roof, A, shouldn't have diffuser, and B, is kind of like that Overwatch person for the people who are taking sides. So if you are taking Aqua, it's their job really to kind of watch your flank. Now, mind you, if you guys are taking Aqua and you guys are all on the balcony, in order for them to see me like right here, like I have to be like right here for whoever's on the roof to see me. All right. A lot of these people, they're using the DMRs, the ACOG, and they can be here and be safe and still smoke you.
Yeah.
So it's really important to kind of work with your teammates and try to roam clear best you can. And part of the things you're going to do is you're going to create ghost pressure. So you're going to want to destroy this window from outside. All right? You're going to want to break these windows in here. You're going to want to open up the hatch. If you and drone, like if there's nobody here, great. Maybe a teammate or two can take this and start working luggage or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because you need to work luggage. The whole point is you're like taking control. You're going to have the person on roof, and you're going to have somebody either taking Aqua or on the window. All right, you're spread kind of thin, but at the same time, it's a small map. And the other thing is to try to figure out which operators they have. Like if you have a Valkyrie, guess what? You're probably want to roam clear. Or if you have control, you can't really plant here safely because you know they have a Valkyrie, so you're gonna have to plant here because it's the safest spot for you on top of something. I haven't just planted there; I've planted on top of here before. If you know they have a Valkyrie, like plant on a surface that you know is harder for them to get you from. If this is open, probably don't want to plant here. Alright. Any questions?
I'm good.
Alright. So... Alright, so Alright, so here's what I'm gonna tell you, alright? Remember that this is primarily and statistically an attacker-sided map. Alright, so what's going to happen, like here, you're gonna get naded from here, right? You're gonna get naded from here.
Yep. Yeah, bro. I try to I try to tell anyone, like, if anyone sees anybody playing Aqua Bar, bro, to send a nade down the vent.
Oh yeah. And yeah. Oh, there's a vent on Cool Vibes, but yeah, it's say like okay, if you're playing in here, right? First of all, you kind of need like a reliable 5-stack. And I'm gonna say reliable like this. You guys are in a way different rank than me, so when I say reliable, for you, mainly just a team that you can communicate with and actually make plans with. Alright?
Right.
But this map requires a lot of utility to hold. So you're gonna want a Jaeger while playing in here. You're going to want a zombie or a castle for the windows and everything, because otherwise you're really not holding this site very well. You're
Right.
going to want traps, you're going to want anything you can, because if you don't have Jaeger and you're playing back here and you're going against a better team who knows how to pinch, you're gonna have that person on the window or in ruins. They're gonna open this up, they're probably gonna rappel here on this wall. So when they have the person on roof, if they have nades, the person on roof that has nades, they're gonna send that down the vent like I showed you, and because if you don't have a Jaeger or a Wamai, you're going to get pushed out. And when you get pushed out, where are you going? When you get pushed out, you're peeking here, and you're getting peeked by the window. So you're actually cooked. Alright? Unless by some miracle you can somehow get you and then flick, or whatever's going on, like you're actually cooked here. So a lot of the times, if that window gets open, they a lot of the times abdicate this anyway and try to play differently. And a lot of times when they're taking Aqua, there's somebody pushing luggage, there's somebody on here, and there's somebody on the window. So if you want to hold this, you really need like almost like a 2-person, maybe like a really tiny like rotate here. So that way they can go in between sight. But again, remember, you got that there, so I can't really go far. I either have to fight whoever's pushing like luggage, peek the window, which is also the balcony, or peek here. So yeah, you have to hold Aqua, but it's really hard to hold Aqua if you don't have a team and like a setup that's going to be beneficial to you. That is why you see a lot of trap ops like a Rooney and all that, because it's gonna slow you down. And we have 3 minutes on the clock.
Changing max.
Ow. Alright, any questions? Concerns?
Nope.
Alright, moving on. I shot your shoulder.
Friendly mission successful.
You moved. Yeah, you moved right as I shot.
You doing the kitchen or pen?
We can do kitchen.
Alright.
I'm going to run the castle this time. I'm just gonna run double shotgun. Because I'm gonna show you why we run castle on this site.
What?
The most annoying thing about the Placidus X fight is the travel from the closest side of Grace to it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why he was about to give up and go to Move.
You must locate.
Not
Yeah.
long, but just like it's
It is kind of
tedious.
long. It's kind of long.
You have located a bomb.
Here's Johnny.
What's going on?
We're doing a
What
bit of
up?
siege school.
It's cool.
So much reinforcing. How many do we have? 3? Okay. That's perfect, because then you can have 2 for upstairs. I'll teach you some stuff and things. Alright.
He's just standing there. Menacingly.
Alright. Well, first I want you guys to go outside. Go outside. And see what you can see through the door. Alright? How far can you see through that door? Repel out everything. How far can you see through the door? I'm telling you right now, I bet you could see it quite a lot.
The shelf, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I know about this little tiny, absolute annoying pixel of the chassis.
Yep. Do you know you also have one out here?
No, I don't. That I don't know.
So you can actually hop up on here, and you can get a good angle into sight.
Mm.
Congratulations, I just taught you a champ peek. Alright, and I'm gonna show you why we use castle. This just cuts off so much of your line of sight.
I couldn't see the door. I could see the door frame, but I couldn't see in the door.
Yeah. But just putting this castle up on the window cuts off so much line of sight. Now, there are some people who, instead of doing the window, they do the door. And they...
Somebody stream real quick so I can see.
I got you.
And they'll play over
Mink,
here.
mink. Oh, that's Jinxie screaming.
Like, there's people who play like this, where they'll put feet holes instead, and they'll just play, like, kind of far or close.
Yeah, I
Or
mean-
they'll play kegs. Like, this is called kegs. You don't really see this too much, but you will see this. But, yeah, most teams will do the window, some teams do the door. It depends. You usually want to pair this with, like, mutes and a Jaeger, because again, this map requires a lot of utility to win.
Yes.
Alright, and then, yeah. And then I'm gonna also show you, so you know where most people play. So one thing that a lot of teams kind of lack is they leave Sunrise unoccupied.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, somebody should be playing here. Like a soft roam. Like, they'll be here if they have to go, like, and this is usually castled off too, because blue, this is like a pinch. They'll enter offices and Sunrise, and they'll get this map control, and that cuts off, like, all of this. And then if they get Sunrise, sometimes we'll see, like, punch holes, because another place that people hold on this map is obviously lobby. And the lobby person can hold from here all the way to Sunrise. Alright? They might rotate through and check, and they hold in here if they know they're coming offices. And that's just like, this is like the soft roamer, alright? This is the person just holding this area, and they hold a lot of areas. So you're holding heat 1, 2, you're holding all the way down there in Sunrise, you're holding a lot. Now we're gonna go upstairs because teams will play upstairs. People will often do a pulse up here, and what they'll do is they'll prep this window, they'll pulse you, and then they'll jump out because they have this prepped. I am going to teach you some cheeky angles that you can use, and you can use them when we do theater. So if you come about right here, anything that's wood is destructible. You can literally watch main door right there. Now with kitchen, if people are roaming, they usually have this hatch open so they can do a quick rotate. US sledge, I want you to there and there. Right now you can see where people hold behind B, and you can see the default place for kegs. That's what those holes are. Those are default holes that people open up with ram, sledge, breaching charges, whatever. Alright? Now I have 2 reinforcers left over. Some roamers might use them for up here for obvious reasons. And they use it because not only are they holding up here to prevent, like, the sledge, prevent the ram, they can also hold this window below. And if you get too close to the window or try to jump through the window, well, you don't make it through the window. Another thing a roamer can do, and why you kind of need to clear out the roamers upstairs, is I want you guys to go over to luggage. I'm going to show you another angle. Some teams will open up the top instead of the bottom. Bottom's just more common, because if you're on the top, you can see the window. Can you see the window?
From where we're looking, talk about kitchen window.
Yeah, the kitchen window.
No, I can't. I just see the floor.
You see the floor? You don't even see me right here?
Nope.
Oh, you know what? They might have changed this. Because you used to be able to see from over there all the way to these head holes. But do you see the feet holes? You see the feet holes? Okay. Let me see. Okay. But yeah, those are some angles. People will be there. They'll drop from there. They'll rotate. If you're a hard breach, you can go for these walls. These walls will cut off a lot of line of sight. But remember, you're dealing with somebody in here. You're dealing with 1 to 2 potential roamers, and then possibly anybody who's over on Sunrise side. Any questions?
Nope.
Also, if you're roaming and you either a cardiac sensor or you just get really good, this right here is behind like the little DJ thing. And if you have C4, you can get like an easy kill because a lot of times they push you to sit right behind there, especially if you're on upstairs on hookah bar.
Okay, okay.
So even if you don't have like a camera in there, if you use your ears well enough, you can hear them and just get an easy C4 and get an easy pick or two. I can't tell you how many times just from sound alone I've gotten kills. Alright, anything else? Disrespectful. How dare you?
Banhammer.
Banhammer's crazy. Alright, we're gonna go on to... we're gonna go on to Penthouse Theater, and then we're not gonna reset for the other site, because the other site really isn't a site you want to go.
Right.
Like, that site has a very particular setup that I can't lie, I don't completely remember it. Let's just say you're working with a lot of soft walls. But like I said, this map plays very similar to how Emerald Plains can play.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is Emerald Plains is much bigger, and therefore, depending on the team, be either easier or harder to defend. Because there are people who will legitimately sit on windows and just wait for you.
Located a bomb.
See you on the other side.
Alright. So this is technically a cover wall.
Okay, I've been doing it backwards, I see.
We'll say if defenders leave that wall soft and without head holes, always pop some shots through that wall, because
This one?
I've gotten kills and I've been killed from that too.
Right.
Alright. So, usually somebody's playing 90 because they can react to whoever's trying to push over here on the main stairs, or they can help if this wall gets breached and peek it. Or if they already get it, they can do like a late swing and get it. They can also watch all the way to bathroom. Again, you do have to take into account situational awareness. Like if it's in the beginning of the round, you don't want to be swinging this and just holding this willy-nilly, because a lot of the times teams will push from here and they'll push from here, and if you're too busy trying to watch whatever's going on main window, you're gonna get popped, alright? Because what's also going to happen is you are probably going to want an Azami. An Azami is very strong on this site for obvious reasons. Alright? Because the thing is, as long as this wall is closed, you can also swing off of intel over here and kind of back up the person playing 90. You also play window, you have your rotate, and then you're also playing over here. Obviously, I'm playing Castle. Castle is another one that will be used. Castle will probably use one here. Slow them down. They often use it right here for bathroom, so they have to either clear it or they have to drop, and it's basically a kill box then. They will use it for this window, and then they'll also use it for... They sometimes use a castle for this window, or they'll use it for this door. More often the door than the window, because again, like this is easier to contest than this is. because you're playing here on there, and then not to mention you have teammates in sight, and I already showed you there's shotgun holes you can do, like right here. Watches the main door. Hatch will most likely be open, and people are playing close. This is obviously the last site you want to go, unless you're confident enough in your team to throw them off. I have hella stick drift. This is the only site you really need to ban a defender for, realistically, because even if you're defending hookah and billiards, a lot of the times there's somebody over here roaming that if you have a Habana or something, they're shooting the Habanas from here and everything, and they're really hard to contest. Now sometimes you can bait and they'll get too close and you might have a teammate on the roof and you can, shoot them for trying to stop it. But you don't really need to ban like hard breachers except for over here, and a lot of times you don't even make it to this site. Any questions?
Squids, can you stand at the wall real quick? No, on the hard one. Can you see me where I'm at?
If he's on the right wall, I imagine he would be.
So you can see me. Okay.
And like if you're swinging here, he definitely sees you before you see him. Like, unless you're quick peeking and you know what you're looking for, he's seeing you before you see him.
I was just curious about like when they get that wall open, like you said, if they're playing right here. Cause like, I'm trying to think about like, if they're pushing from main stairs, like, and they're trying, like,
Yeah.
if, like you said, the person playing 90 is trying to hold the breach. I want to be safe from over here, so that's why I want to be tucked right here.
The zombies would be good for that also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Azami is usually playing in here if she isn't already moved. Like Azami has like Azami's like here, because remember she's only got to worry about the wall. She's got to worry about guitar, and nobody can really watch guitar except for like whoever's playing here. And they're either playing really far back or they're playing like right here. And again, this is hard to deal with because you're dealing with somebody on the window. Like you're on this map, you're just constantly being pinched, and it's either this map is legitimately swing or be swung, and hope your aim is good enough. Or people will run out from below. Like a common thing that people will do, especially in my rank, is that let's say like your vigil. Vigil's common, right? They'll throw a impact up here, or really right here, because usually there's a nomad and it'll destroy the nomad. They'll run out, and if anybody's repelled, they just kill them.
Their vigil king.
And or sometimes when they impact, they'll also impact down below because claymores. Like I know to expect claymores, so if I'm running out, I'm throwing it low, and that is Coastline. Any questions that you have, I'll do my best to answer them.
Swapping mag!
I'm good.
Yep, traps. Yeah, you want traps, intel, you want C4s, and you want like a good lineup is you will see castle or a zombie, sometimes both. Depending on the site, you might want a wall denial. So like the one that we're just doing right now, you would probably want a Cade or a bandit. Probably a bandit to bandit trick. So bandit will be bandit tricking while the zombie is kind of watching the guitar door. And again, you probably want a Jaeger, you probably want a Malusi. want heavy utility for this map because of how it runs.
Oh my god.
Alright, anything else?
Reloading.
Nope.
Cover me.
Nope.
No longer in your possession.
Oh no.
Down to one friendly. Op 4 eliminated.
I only have shotguns. I was not winning. Alright. That is all I have for this map today.
Yay.
Low-key, I can't. I am down to do other maps.